it has certain fissures which can be exploited by inimical forces. And we as a nation have to prevent that from happening. And that is why the importance of understanding for the youth, the importance of national security. And just to give an example, the role that has been played by the doctors in protecting the integrity and sovereignty of the country is just amazing. So while as doctors, you all will have a major role to play in securing the health of this nation, but at the same time, you also have a secondary role to play in securing the integrity of this nation. If you just have a look at this picture, I'm sure you can recognize who this picture belongs to. Anyone? Okay? Raise your hand. Anyone wants to guess who this picture belongs to?
Looks like Valluvar.
Okay, so Charaka is one good guess, but Charaka also looks similar. He came after Charaka. No, not Tiruvalluvar. This is Sushrita. Okay? So this is the picture of Sushrita. Now, how many of you believe that Sushrita was actually there? There was a person called Sushrita who was actually alive. Yes, obviously, our senior doctors would definitely believe that. But amongst the students, I want to know, how many of you believe that there was someone called Sushrita, or is this just an imaginary, statue made of this gentleman? Yes, this young lady knows. So who was Sushrita? He came after Charaka. So who was Charaka? Charaka was a Maharishi, and so was Sushrita. And Sushrita is known as the father of
Surgeon.
as the father of plastic surgery. He is also known as the father of Indian medicine. Why do we need to know this? Because that is where honor comes from. That is where pride comes from. The fact that our civilization has produced such great people even before this gentleman came into action. And who is this gentleman?
Aristotle.
No. Come on. I'm sure someone will guess who this gentleman is.
Oh, Hippocrates.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not for seniors. This guess is not for seniors. Right, gentlemen? Ladies, girls, boys. Who is this?
And they take a oath on him.
Then
Okay, how many of you know that when you finish your fourth year of MBBS and before you take up your profession, you have to take an oath? You know that you take an oath?
Yes.
And if you know this? Right. So there's an oath that all of you have to take. There is something that is common between a military man and a doctor. There are two things that is common. In fact, there are three things that is common between a military man and a doctor. One is that when we pass out of the academy, we go through an attestation parade. In that attestation parade, we take an oath to protect the sovereignty and integrity of this nation if required with our lives when it is called upon us. That's an oath we take and we live by it. Similarly, a doctor is a profession where an oath is administered because the profession of a doctor is one of the most sacred living professions because you deal with privacy of people. You deal with life and death of people like the soldier does. That's why that oath is so important. The oath that is administered is named after him, called as the Hippocrates oath, not the Hippocrate. But this Hippocrates oath has no value. It becomes paradoxically hypocrite if you simply undervalue what this oath is all about. So the word called hypocrite, all of you know what is a hypocrite? Someone who feigns to be what he is a hypocrite. So there's not much difference between being a Hippocrates and hypocrite. It is just the ethics that differs the two. That's one thing.